Okay, we back. Okay, where y'all at? Okay, so my co-host is back. So I hope y'all are coming back with us. We are definitely going to hit this topic tonight. We had to take an intermission and reboot. And my co-star is ready to go. He was just running a little late. Where y'all at? Y'all ready? Let's see. Oh, you here? Hey, mama. Hey, Keisha. Y'all done came back good. Because he about ready. He coming on any minute now. And we going to get started. Let's see. All right. So, episode 4. Yes. And episode topic is going to be about sex today. I'm just waiting for my main man. Hey, yo. What you doing, mamas? I know, right? Keisha, that's how I feel. Here we go. Here we go. He coming in there. She like, come on with it. Let's go. Let's get it started. Coming in. That always happen, huh? Okay. One more time. That always happen. What you say, sis? Your favorite topic? I know that's right. We gonna break it down. So that's what we do. Every week, Tuesday night, we actually break down topics. So we do real life, real issues, real talk every Tuesday night. And my co-host he's coming in now. And sometimes, Facebook try to block you from getting that message out. There you go. Where you been at? Tell the people they done came. A lot of them came and left.
Hold on, let me turn this up. Dang, I can barely hear you, but my bad, y'all. Listen, I get off work. I was supposed to get off at 8:30. This starts at 9 o'clock. I was supposed to get off at 8:30, but I had a client right at the end, so I just pretty much left work. So my bad, I had to get that money. But I'm here
Right.
with y'all though.
Look, I ain't even mad at you. I ain't even mad. So you got the peoples coming through. We gonna give them a few more minutes to get in, and we
Yeah,
about to get started. So I gave my
I'm probably,
knowledge
I'm
nugget.
not gonna lie. I was gonna try to drive home, but I think I'm just about to pull over and talk to y'all real quick.
Yeah. So you can focus, huh? I'm letting the people they
I like,
coming in.
I love my cousins out there. Hope y'all
Yeah.
love me.
Love you. We love you. I'm like, come on, let's go. All right. So I gave my knowledge nugget a little bit earlier, but then I started over. So um, my knowledge nugget was about biology and hormones related to sex. Did you guys know? Thank you, Keisha. Did you guys know that around puberty, which is usually around junior high time, um, all both sexes secrete a hormone that actually makes that's when you start liking boys, and the boys are liking the girls. It was junior high because of a hormone that we both secrete when it's during puberty, which actually draws us to the opposite sex. Hey, mama. Hey, Lynn. Got the people coming in. So, what's your
Yeah.
knowledge nugget for the day?
Oh, boom! My knowledge nugget for the day. So it's not really a nugget. I would say it's more like a concept maybe you never thought of before. But one of my rules and concepts that I use when I'm dating is that unless me and my lady have got to the point where we're intimate, I will not take her to the movies. I feel like taking a girl to the movie. That's like one of the number one dates people like to take people to. I
Um,
don't take ladies to the movies. Okay, let me tell you why.
wow.
Okay, I don't take ladies to the movies because you're sitting there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and not getting any more information about the person that you really was taking out to learn or to get more info about. So I feel like that's like a waste of a date because at the end of those 2 hours, you're not anywhere closer to your goal at all. You've been sitting there quiet with somebody. You know what I mean? You don't know who really they are. The time you should be sitting quiet is when, like I said, you guys have already had those talks, and that's usually after been intimate or anything like that. But so I don't go to the movies. I don't take girls on dates to the movies. I feel like it's a waste of time. So that's just my reason why.
I actually agree since you put it that way. you know,
Hmm.
I mean, it does. It's just like a quiet date. Like, what are you getting out of that? Like, you're really not getting anything out of it. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Because how can you even focus on the movie when you don't even know the person sitting next to you?
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So today's topic, and we didn't mention it, we didn't talked about it. It is sex. Ooh, you can slice and dice that so many different ways. You can definitely slice and dice in so many different ways. I got a few things I want to share with y'all about sex. Um, you know what? I'll just go ahead and get it started. Why not?
Get it
A waste
cracking.
of time. Yeah. You talking about the movies or what?
Yeah, she's talking
Hey,
about the movies, I
cousin
think.
Shiva. Are you talking? She talking about the movies?
Yeah, she's talking about the movies.
Yeah, a waste of time. Okay, we're gonna go into our first bullet point about the topic sex. Um, and I wrote this down as the first one, but this is probably the deepest one. And I did want you, Champagne, to answer this question
You
because
know
I
I'm gonna
think
do
all
it.
the ladies out there probably want your opinion a lot of when it comes to this subject. So we gonna get it started.
Hmm.
What is the difference between or what is like define sex versus making love?
You asking me the difference between sex and making love.
Yes, we want a male's perspective on this one. I already know what
That's
the
funny.
ladies gonna say. They probably know what I'm gonna say. So we want a male's perspective on this one.
All right. So, I'm gonna try to be as PG as possible.
Yeah, because
Um,
we're a family show. We might have some people on here.
of course. Of
Hey,
course.
Abby.
So, I feel like sex is just the act. Sex is just the name of the activity. So, sex is the act of, you know, putting the candy bar in the candy jar. Okay, that's what
Right,
sex is. Right now, making love. Okay, it's sex, but it's also emotion into it, and that's just the extra little bitty things that you don't normally do to someone that you're not making love to. Okay,
right,
so the extra, so I think that's the difference, though. I'm trying not to go into details.
right. No, I definitely, agree. And I was feeling the same way. I mean, the act. And then, people who they use it for money. They use it for everything. Just the act.
Hmm.
Just the act.
Yeah.
I think that it's more important to treasure your body. Like that's just kind of my philosophy. I don't want to give it to everybody. You know what I mean? It's not. If it's just an act, that's like
Hmm.
acting. You know what I mean? It's just a drama class. Then I don't. I mean, no, I don't want to waste my time on that. But
So
yeah,
you
we
need some emotion in there.
yeah, cause in that too, especially with women, we definitely get emotions involved when it comes to that.
Hmm. It's all
'Cause I,
connected on the
it
ladies.
does seem like that, like it's
On the
all
ladies.
connected. Like your mind is connected with the rest of your body. Cause we always thinking
Hmm.
beyond, what's really going on. Ooh, what, mama?
That's something.
So, so you are talking about foreplay when making love, huh?
Okay, so it seemed like she's asking me a question to, because I gave my response to what I think the difference between sex and love was. So I think this is her question to my
Okay,
response. So she said, "Am I talking about
gotcha.
foreplay when making love?" Um, you know, I would have to say yes and no, because yes, there's some extra things that a guy will do during foreplay when, when making love is it's that making love type of night. You know what I'm saying? Because even though you make love with somebody, you ain't gotta make it into account. Yes, and so yes, foreplay and also the act of sex is different when you're making love. That's what it is.
Right. So that's we gonna move right on to the next because it's a lot to go in with this sex thing. So
You got
I
a lot
got
of
a
bullet
few things
points.
I didn't took in. Yes. So I got the next thing, and probably the most important thing, and probably the first thing we should have talked about that I think is most important when it comes to uh, the topic of sex is what I call this. I always been my saying, and I even explained this to my two sons like this: get the envelope.
Get the
Like you out
envelope.
here. Right. I don't care if it's the person you think you're gonna marry for the rest of your life. I don't care if both of y'all say y'all virgins. I don't care. Get the envelope. It don't take nothing. It's $20. You go down there, give your blood, and you make sure that the person that you laying down with or having sex with or making love to is clean.
Gotta get
I
the
think that's
envelope.
real important. What you think?
Get
Hey
the
Andre,
envelope.
hey Krista.
I mean, yeah, that's like, oh man, that's a very very big thing. I mean, even they got TV commercials and stuff talking about wrapping it up because of STDs and all that stuff. So they're promoting that thing heavy because I think STDs was running rampant in like the 70s, 80s when people wasn't really talking about it.
Yes.
So it became an epidemic almost, like a quiet, like a secret epidemic. When we brought it to the light in the 90s, 2000s. So everyone knows it's very important to make sure that you don't get none of that stuff, that can harm you for life. A lot of that stuff can harm you for life. So
Will
I mean
change
that's
your life.
superiorly important.
Your life will be
Hmm.
totally different. You get some of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like that will
Hmm.
that is ugh. So that was like something major I wanted to put out there because if we was gonna talk about sex, we was definitely gonna mention that. Get the
Hmm.
envelope. Don't be out here playing
Envelope.
around.
Like that. Get
I
the
love,
envelope, huh?
I call it that. My sons, they know I don't play. I definitely feel like, protect yourself at all times. I take it to the boxing ring. Protect yourself at all times. So that's definitely a topic that I wanted to put out there. Who out there got something to say about that?
Oh, Uncle Chipper in the house. Watch your mouth.
Hey, Uncle Chipper. Hi, Lori. Hi, Nigel. Hey, twin. Everybody in here tonight. So we're episode 4. Hey, Uncle. So this is episode 4, and the topic is sex. So we talked about hormones as when hit puberty. We didn't talk about making sure you get the envelope. That's my thing. If you're gonna be out here having sex with anybody, make sure you get the envelope. Make sure you are protected and the other person be protected as well. Like get that done. We talked about that, and we talked about sex versus love making. Sex is just the act. Oh, you did. Thank you, Uncle. Hey, Alan. So the next topic I wanted you to hit on is, and you kind of touched on it, but I guess we're gonna get in a little bit deeper about it. Um, is sex different now versus back in the day?
Man, for
What's the difference?
sure. Listen, man, sex is very different nowadays. Yo, they doing some stuff. They doing some stuff that I won't do. Okay. And yes, it's like, everyone's just more free. I feel like since this age of information, okay, there's always freaks in the closet back in the days, even when we was growing up. I bet there was freaks in the closet. We just didn't know because they was in the closet. But now
Right.
ain't nothing in the closet. Nothing's in the closet, and information is out there.
And
So if you searching or you just looking at some of that freaky stuff is gonna come find you. So then,
Mm,
since it comes from you, then sometimes you would have never been exposed to that, but now you are. So then you become that, and then everyone's been pushing that, not pushing that agenda, but it becomes something because everyone's doing it, so everyone's talking about it, and then it becomes like normal. It becomes normal, and
right. It
it ain't
is.
what it
It's
was.
totally different. Oh my goodness. It's everywhere, right? They selling it like videos now. Oh, we didn't have videos like that when I was growing up. Where them women opening their legs, got their crotch all in the camera. It wasn't like that when I was growing up. The videos now, all they doing is selling sex. They out here, Cardi B, and I love Cardi B. I love her music. I know she worked really hard to get to where she is, and that is important because you got to have drive to get through a lot of things in that industry. So I definitely understand she probably went through a lot to get where she is, and I can appreciate a woman being strong enough to accomplish their goals. But she's selling sex too, because like her clothes,
Hmm.
you know, like it's everywhere. So it's almost like it's
Sex
in your
sells, man. You
face.
know that.
Yeah, always have. Hugh Hefner,
Hmm.
that man been making money for years. He ain't playing. And
Feeling
okay,
it.
we got a question. Um, Mama said, "Why do people think it's okay to have casual sex now?" I don't understand that. I don't understand. Maybe you can because I don't understand it because I don't agree with it, and I don't want to down talk anybody to each his own. I'm like very pro-choice with people with what they want to do.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't dog nobody for doing something that I wouldn't do. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just don't like that. I've never been into that casual sex thing. What you think,
Hmm.
Champagne?
Well, the reason why people think it's okay to have casual sex now because that's what society is telling you. It's like, oh, this is just a part of being a human, so you get those feelings. Just make sure that you protect yourself when you have those feelings, and everything's okay. So then the kid's already grown up, like, oh, cool, yeah, we can do this act because I feel like doing it, and my hormones is doing this. The commercials say, as long as we put this on, we good. Like that's what it's telling people. So
Right.
casual sex is kind of, and then sex is everywhere. Like I said, sex sells. So we seeing sex pretty much all the time. If you look at any kind of advertisements, they're always gonna have a pretty girl on there, even if it's about something else that got nothing to do with girls. They just got a girl holding it that's looking pretty with some long legs. Like that's
Right.
just what it is. So it's a part of our everyday lives. So we become more numb to that, and so it becomes like nothing. Like oh, we just having sex. Like it's no big deal. So
Right.
that's just what it is.
Right. And then Uncle Chipper said, sex is a precious gift and only given to someone who is deserving of it. I agree. I've always been like that. I always felt that way. You know, the older I got, the more I realized like it ain't even that serious. Like a marriage, okay, sex is important in a marriage. Don't get me wrong. Cause it probably wouldn't last if it was just none at all. You know what I mean? But it doesn't make the marriage. Like a
Uh-uh.
marriage, you know what I mean? When you talk about sex and marriage, like marriage is way beyond the sex part because you got to compromise. It's hard work. You got to be able to listen, close your mouth, and try to understand something that you really don't understand or you really don't agree
Hmm.
with. But you got to give that
Hmm.
courtesy to that spouse. They have to be able to be heard. You have to try to understand because if it's important to them, it should be important to you, even if it's something you disagree with. So say just
Hmm.
like people that get into relationships in two different religions, like one may not agree with the other, but they gotta have something going on in their house that make them to be able to look beyond that and still love one another. You see what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
make it work and make it last. Like I can't imagine like my aunt and uncle, like your parents being together 30 something odd years, just a
Hmm.
long time. They probably had to deal with a lot with each other. It
Of
had to be
course.
some patience, some, closing your mouth, listening, trying, understanding compromises. You don't make it that long
Hmm.
without
I
some
heard my
work.
pops was a handful. You already
Right.
know.
I know. I heard too. Like, and Auntie Cheryl held it down for him. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
that when it comes to sex, that's why I say the older you get, and the more that you start to treasure people as human beings and having their own opinions and being themselves and being happy within their own skin, the more
Hmm.
you actually build with that type of relationship, like a relationship, like a
Hmm.
marriage, or something that's really important to you, you start to shut down and go ahead and open up.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Let me ask you a question. What percentage of sex do you think is in a marriage, like of importance? What percentage would you put on sex as importance in a marriage?
Oh, as importance. I mean, out
Hmm.
of 100%, I mean, I think maybe like 20.
20?
At
Two out
least
of
like
10.
20.
2 out of
20.
10.
I mean, my husband over here, I don't know, he ain't saying nothing. I'm wondering what he might say something. But yeah, I don't I mean, it's cool. I mean, you can't have a marriage with somebody that you're not sexually attracted to and y'all don't know how to please one another or to, when you
Yes,
are having sex, it's not good because there's no way you're gonna last forever if that part ain't good. But
true.
as far as like having to worry about it like on a daily basis, it's not that
Hmm.
important as some other things to me.
I hear you. So I would on my scale, where I put the importance of sex, it's about 30. Well, 25 to 30. I'm not sure. 25 to 30. I feel like
Okay.
sex. I look at sex sometimes. You're supposed to have a healthy sex life. They say an average couple has sex 2 to 3 times a week or whatever. So that's cool. But I look at sex sometimes like a band-aid. Like sometimes it can help you through bumps. Yeah, it can help you through bumps in a relationship. Like sometimes you might have a little scuffle, and then you might go ahead and have sex, and then you kind of let it go. Sometimes you just lay and cuddle with each other,
Yeah,
and then you
that's
talk
true.
about that helps you talk about that thing and get over it. Sometimes it's like
I definitely
big, like break a bone,
a
then
little bit.
that's about to help you. You know what I mean?
Hmm. You
This
said
is
it
true.
does what? You spaced out on that. No, I can hear
Oh,
you.
I don't even. All right, what did you hear? Because I don't know what you didn't hear. Like, where did I stop?
You said that you said it's a band-aid and then you said something. Well, you said something after the band-aid. Yeah, mama. Okay, well Chipper say 10%. Is that with age? Because we I'm 41. I'm 41 and they too, you what, 39, 38?
No, I ain't up
Uh-oh.
there yet. But I'm in the mid. I'm
36.
like, I'm around. I'm around. I'm around. No, I'm like 37. I'll be forgetting how old I am sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, I went all the way down to 38 because I was like, wait a minute, 38, 37, right? Okay. So, I feel like, I mean, I experienced a lot, but uh, Uncle is saying that it's only 10%. And that's why I brought up our age because I want him to tell me, like, is that with age? I don't know because mama say 20% and mama say that's with men. I mean, my husband be like, he don't be tripping. I mean, he have his moments, but he don't be tripping like every day just hounding me. You know what I mean?
Wait,
He be
wait. Do
chill.
you
He
guys, do
say
you guys
that
think,
too. He say
do
that
you guys
too.
think that do you guys think that men's percentage would be less than a woman's overall, like in general?
No, that's why I'm wondering why Uncle Chipper saying 10%. I
Hmm.
would not have thought that a man would say less than what a woman would think, but
Mm.
I'm wondering why he's saying 10%. But I guess he'll let us know when he get
Yeah,
back
your,
on
yeah,
here.
your mom said 20%.
Yeah, she said 20%. I don't know if when
She
it
on the
gets
same thing.
what do you think about if it gets when it gets older or a woman gets older? Because they usually say men at a young age is very sexually active, and they usually say that a woman is more sexually active when she's older. What do you think about that? Do you think
It's
that's
kind of
true?
true though. Scientifically speaking, ladies reach their like a higher sex drive in their upper years, like around 30 to 35 is when they reach their peak. Guys, scientifically reach their peak around 18. So we're not even, which is crazy, and that's where cougars come from because cougars know the person that can keep up with their speed is not a person, not a dude that's 35 because he over the hill as far as sexually is concerned. She need that 18-year-old that can keep up with her. That's where the cougar come from.
Oh, and what about sugar daddies? Where they come from?
Sugar daddy gotta have that paper. That's where sugar daddy come from.
I'm like, where they come from? Let's see. Uncle said, yes, with age, friendship, companionship, intimate moments, supersedes the icing of the relationship. You better believe it. You hit that nail on the head. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's way more things that's more important. I mean, I don't know about the 10% because I think sex is important when it comes to, a relationship or a marriage, long lasting. That's important. Um, but I don't know about no 10%.
Yeah, that's kind of low. That's kind of low.
She say older men, but statistics state we are equal. I'm not sure what she's referring to. You know what she's talking about?
Yeah, she's probably saying that statistics show that men and women pretty much have around the same percentage that they put the importance of sex in a relationship.
See, I don't know what she be doing, sending you codes or what. She be saying something, and I'll be like, what part? What's she talking about? And you be decoding what she
I
said.
guess so.
Like, you know what she's talking about.
We there, Auntie. We right there.
Okay. All right. So, I'm going to move on to the next topic while we still got y'all. And we kind of hit on this, but I mean, maybe you can give us the male perspective on what you think about women that does this. But I think it's very, very important. And as a young black woman, I think it's important for young black women to realize this as well. Like, we need to treasure our bodies. We should keep it to ourselves as much as possible. Like, we shouldn't be just giving it out here, giving it. Nobody is deserving. It should only be one. But I know, like, this is the thing about living and learning. I can be vulnerable. I'm going to be vulnerable because I may have a story that I need to share with somebody that can help somebody else. So I'm gonna be vulnerable. I, sometimes think like, dang, you believed in so many relationships. Cause I got so many exes, you know what I mean? Who I was in relationships with 11 years, 4 years, 2 years, you know what I mean? And I mean, I'm 41. So I had relationships and I feel like I gave my body to people that didn't even deserve it. You know what I mean? And you wanted to believe in that love and that connection, and really, it wasn't nothing like that for the other person. Like, and I sometimes, I mean, I can't regret anything because you learn from everything.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
go through things to learn anything. You know what I mean? So I don't regret it. But let's be honest, like, if I had a daughter and I donate two, you got one. Like, I would want her to know that her body should be treasured like ancient gold treasury. Like, nobody can touch it and see it. You see what I'm saying? I think that's so
Hmm.
important. I don't know, what do you feel about that? And you can kind of give us an idea on, a woman that's a little more reserved than a woman that's a little more giving. What do you think about it?
Wait. So what are you asking me though, as far as the woman's more reserved or a woman that's more promiscuous?
Right, like, how do men take that? Is it
Oh, oh,
a
oh,
specific
oh.
man thing, or they think
Got
they
you.
do they like the girls that give out more, or they probably like the girls that's more reserved?
We
I mean, you
like
got a
both.
lot of
We
homies
like.
and you a man. So I was
Hmm.
wondering what you thought about that.
Yeah, we like both types of ladies. It's just that we put them in different categories and we treat them differently. When we're single guys, we're actually looking for that more reserved girl, that relationship girl that really only has sex if she has that one man in her life or whatever. That's kind of not that we're looking for that, okay? Because whatever floats your boat can work for you. But like,
Right.
that when we find a girl like that, then that's more the type of girl that we would try to make more of a relationship with, or like, take her home to moms and things like that. Just in theory, we're talking in theory right now, okay? Because
Yeah.
everyone's different. But
Right.
but the girl that's more promiscuous, like you ain't really gonna bring her home to moms because you really don't, because you don't got to be honest. You're gonna have fun with her.
Right.
But that's the girl you're gonna take around, hang with your friends with. Maybe go to the parties with, have a good time.
Yeah.
But as far as when she starts saying like, oh, but what are we? That's that question that comes. Oh, but what are
Right. You
we
know that's
then?
coming.
Like, okay, well, what are we doing here? Like, so once that happens, then we usually pull out. Like, you know what? Nah, we was just having fun, blah blah blah.
Right.
So, You know, we actually at different parts of our life, whatever, we actually need both of them, to be honest. You know.
Right. So you say, wait, pause for a second. And I know the ladies, yes. Mom said that women have self-esteem issues. That's why they don't treasure their body. That's true because things that you go through at a young age, it does travel with you for a long time before you have to be able to get past it. Like you have to be able to get past it to move forward in order to have a better self-esteem. In order to love yourself, in order to treasure yourself and value yourself, you kind of got to go through some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they don't get
Mm.
most women. How can I explain it? With the low self-esteem, they never learned to love themselves. It's probably something that happened that they never faced and they've been battling. Because you have the most beautiful women, but they still struggle with that. So that is true, mom. And then what? How you
Uh,
gonna have treasure? How you gonna treasure the body when you ain't even got your mind right? You know what I mean?
hmm Some women just
Hey,
really
Babs.
enjoy the act of sex. Some
Hmm.
women just enjoy that. So they,
Yeah.
well, a lot of times it is. You're right though. A lot of times it is because they don't treasure their body from the beginning. You know, it's the reason why they probably gave it up in the first place. And
Yeah.
then, but I was saying that also the reason would be because they just really love sex.
That's
So
true.
reason why they do it.
People do that as an occupation. Like they want, that's probably they gotta be. You gotta have to like it to do it as an occupation. Like I don't understand.
Hmm
Um, you know, there's no way if you didn't like it, you'd be doing it as an occupation.
Definitely. We got one more question down at the bottom. I saw,
I just
but
saw
from
that too.
Barbara.
So yeah, that's Babs. That's my cousin Babs. That's my husband's cousin. My cousin too. That's my family. So she said that um she want to know what you have to say about loose men. Me? Me? Or are you talking about you want Champagne to answer that? So, I mean, I'll
How
give
about
my
how?
perspective. Okay,
Okay,
go
yeah, you go
ahead.
first.
Go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, we'll let you finish off on the men one. Let me give my little. I got a baby small opinion about that. You know,
Okay.
I feel like I see it two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
um, I feel like it could be a good thing. I can't call it good, so I don't know what to call it. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
it could be beneficial to be loose for a little bit to find out what you like and then settle on what you like because like you said, sex is a pretty much important part of having a relationship. So you don't
Yes.
want a car with bad tires. I don't know. It could be a good thing, but it's also bad because it is very important to love that one woman and if you're gonna give yourself, it should only be one person. I mean, man or woman. So but it's a little. It takes longer for a man to recognize that because growing up, we're really taught the more women we have, then the more macho we are, and the more cooler we are.
Right.
Until one day, something has to happen for us to be like, man, they was lying to me my whole life. I need to go ahead and deal with this one woman.
Right.
So we have to go through that process. Ladies are pretty much when you guys are born, you're raised to look for that one man and get married and live happily ever after. So some guys have to pretty much learn that, where you ladies are kind of like almost ingrained in that. So that's why it's hard, man, to
Right.
find that person sometimes.
I know because when we were raised, you raised at a young age, especially in a family orientated family, because everybody's family is different. You know what I mean? Our family is very family orientated. It's like, hey, you supposed to get married. That's just what they believed in. But DJ said you got to see what's out there. You got to see what you do and
Yeah,
don't like. We agree with you. That's our
exactly.
cousin DJ.
You're gonna
Uncle
spend your whole
Chipper
life with it. You
say,
should like it.
right. Uncle Chipper say, and I didn't forget, I still need to answer my side of that, Baps. Um,
True.
he says that you got to take baby steps with a man. He must earn your respect and strive to reach the level in which you are willing to share your most precious gift with him. Be strong and guarded with your heart. I definitely agree. Cause being a woman, it's hard out here for us. Like, y'all men think it's easy for us, but it's hard for us. Y'all say, I had a man tell me before, it's easy for y'all because y'all, y'all can put on that sex appeal, and then a man, you don't got to stand on the side of the road that long because a man will come and stop. They say, the man pump the gas for you. The man do everything for you. So they say, I've had somebody tell me that before. Like, us women, we got it better than men because we got men like falling at our feet.
Hmm.
So I don't know what you think about that.
I actually was looking down at Deborah Cunningham Mahomes. She wrote a little
Hey,
something in her
Auntie,
says
you baby.
that said you got to be careful. Each time you pretty much have sex, you're giving a piece of yourself away. There is a thing such as soul ties. And I've heard of that too, where like you're giving a piece of yourself away. So if you keep giving away pieces, 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 you ain't gonna have nothing left to give to the person,
Who
that you're
deserves
gonna
it?
spend the rest of your life with. So, that's deep right there, Miss Barbara Cunningham Mahone. I see you,
Yeah,
girl.
that's my Aunt Debbie. So Babs, you saw, and Uncle is bringing that back up too. Loose men, and I'm gonna read what he said, but I wanted to get my point out about that.
Hmm.
To me, that's nasty. That's nasty for a man too. Like, I try to, but I understand men because I have two sons that I raised to be men, and they told me some things, and I would be like, why would you do that? Like, they told me things that I didn't, understand why, why, and it had something to do with sex. You know what I mean? And I'm like, is that a man thing? Like, cause I don't agree. And I've always raised them boys, and I told them. And Vino been with his woman since junior high. Kobe been with his since high
Shout out
school.
to that, bro. Shout
I
out to that.
told him, you ain't supposed to be, giving yourself away, because that works for men and women. To me,
True.
I mean, but my side is a little different. Yours is like, you know what? People do this for a hobby. They think it's okay, and that may just
Yeah.
be what they love to do, which I agree. But for
Hmm.
for me, yeah, loose men, nasty. Don't want to mess with you. Don't want to mess with you. Uncle said, loose men are children who want what they want, hurt who they hurt, and not consider the other partner. They will at some point grow up and realize there's greater things in life. As a man, we have daughters, sisters, aunt, mothers, and grandmothers. Treat them all with respect. We on the same page. Me and him right here. It's something
Hmm.
about that woman. It's something about that woman. Um,
Yeah, I hear
let's
you.
see.
So
So
you
you
see
think
DJ
every
Real
time
at the bottom?
someone has sex with someone, it can't just be sex? Say what? What you say, Champagne?
No, I was saying the same thing. He had that comment at the bottom asking, "Can't you just have sex just to have sex?" And
I
I
mean,
mean,
people do.
oh, go ahead.
They okay. They do. That's something we talked about earlier in the episode. That the difference between having sex and making love. A lot of people just have sex. It's like regular now. And we talked about casual sex and what people do. You just missed that part, cuz. Bye, Uncle. Love you too. So yeah, so that was my last topic. Did you have one that you wanted to add, or what you thinking?
Let me just address DJ Real from day one, real quick. That boy said without a transaction. Yo, I mean, yes, yeah. So I get it. Sex is just a physical activity, and some people just like to have it. So some I ain't gonna lie, bro. Back in the day, when I was doing what I was doing, I thought of sex like almost like basketball. Like, when I go to the basketball court, I feel like playing basketball. So it's a physical activity I love to do. And then, when I get done playing basketball, the dudes I was playing basketball with, the court or whoever they was, they ain't gotta be personal to me. I don't have to, they ain't gotta come back to my house or nothing like that. So I did what I need to do and now I'm good playing basketball. Sex, so he's saying pretty much like sex will be like that. Like, yo, I feel like having sex. This is the person I'm gonna do that with after I'm done. Boom. And then we don't have no ties. But then I learned later on, bro, you got ties, dog. You got ties. So we can't really have sex with someone and just think it's just sex. There's a spirituality about it. You know when you have sex, so like when you come close to your your orgasm when you like in the clouds, bro. It's like almost an out of body experience sometimes. And then the person you're doing it with, they also are in their own, I don't know, essence of the world and all that stuff. It all combines, it all connects. So you leave a piece of yourself with that person and vice versa. And whether you know it or not, bro, you do. The subconscious is very, 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 very powerful. It works without you even knowing. So yes, I mean, answer is no. You can't have sex and just have sex.
I don't know why people do it, but um, and we hit a lot of topics tonight, and I smell burritos.
Burritos. That mean it's a wrap.
That's a wrap. We hit it all. Y'all want to make sure every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. AZ time, that's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, Living and Loving with Cousins. We stay
Living and
real
learning.
lit, real life, real issues,
Real
real
issues and
talk.
real talk.
Real lit. So we're going to always hit these topics straight on. If you have a topic you want to hear us talk about, we break them down, slice them, and dice them.
Let us
Put it in
know.
the comment box right down there. Put it in the comment box, and we'll definitely talk about your topic. All right, we are out. Mwah. Love you, cousin. Love everybody.
Arrivederci. Love you too.
See
Love
you
y'all,
next week.
cousins.
Bye.